Hello everyone. Thank you for coming today, and I'm hoping that you really want to learn how to sketch. My name is Jean Kiegerl. I'm a local artist in Merritt, BC. One of my favorite things to do is to teach people to sketch. Many people think that they cannot sketch, that they are not an artist, that they only draw stick people, or they just don't try to draw at all. But there is one easy step to get you into it, and I would like to show you that today. Any pencil, any paper works. This is ordinary photocopy paper. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is fold the paper in half, and that is just for this exercise, because we're going to draw in 4 steps. So we're going to number the paper 1, 2, 3, 4, like a book. And then on page 1, I'm going to ask you to just draw your hand the way you normally do. So take 1 minute, just turn the video off, take 1 minute, draw your hand, and then come back. All right, thank you for coming back. Now, most people, when I say just draw your hand, will either trace it or they will draw a very simple 5-fingered hand, usually 5 fingers, without actually looking at their hand. And that's the main difference between drawing and symbols. This is a symbol of a hand. It's the hand that you learn to draw when you're about 5 years old. And unless you change your way of drawing or need to, you never change that because it works. Everybody knows that that's a hand. But to draw and sketch properly and to make it look like you want it to look, you actually have to look at what you're drawing. And that's the secret of sketching. To learn how to do that, we're going to draw your hand 3 more times, and each time it will be a little bit more interesting, maybe a little more challenging, but by the end you will have figured out how to do the difference between drawing the symbol and drawing your actual hand. So turn to page 2. On page 2, you are going to put your pencil in your other hand, and you're going to draw the hand that you can see then. I know that this will be a bit awkward, and that is on purpose. It's so that you actually have to think a little bit, one little step farther about how to draw. So we know that this is going to be a bit awkward. It's going to take a little bit longer. So turn off the video and draw your hand and then come back. Thank you for coming back. I'm sure that was a bit of a challenge. And most people, when they're drawing with their other hand, will have a bit of difficulty with coordination, but they will have had to actually look at their hand while doing it, so that the thumb and the fingers will be on the side that you are looking at. So if you put your hand over, you will see that that is what you did. Now we're going to make it a little bit harder for the third one. For the third one, page number 3, put your pencil in the hand you normally use and rest your hand on the paper, but the hand that you're going to draw is going to be over here so that you cannot actually see the paper. No peeking. So you look at your hand and draw around the edge. Draw all the angles that you see. If you have a ring, make sure you draw the ring. If you have crooked fingers, like some of mine are, make sure that you draw that. Draw your hand, not a symbol of a hand. This will take a bit longer, and don't worry what comes out on the paper. It will be bad, I tell you that. All right? Turn off the video and start drawing. So, was that interesting? Thank you for coming back. If you truly didn't look at the paper, your picture might look something like this, because you're trying to draw the different parts but not looking at the paper. You might have even wandered off the paper. That's okay. The important thing is that you were looking at your hand while you were drawing and really noticing everything that's there. So, 4th page, and our last exercise. This one will take a little bit longer, maybe as long as 5 minutes. This time we're going to put everything together. You put your pencil in the hand you normally use, you're going to look at the paper, and you're going to look at your hand, all 3. But this time, we're going to put the hand in a more interesting position, because when you've drawn your hand 3 times already, your brain will say, I know how to do that, and it will go right back to the symbol. Let's not let it do that. Let's give it a different shape to draw. Maybe that, maybe that, maybe that, maybe that, as long as it isn't just a flat hand. All right, and then you do the same thing. So you're looking and you're saying, okay, you really have to look this time because this is not the symbol of a hand. You have to figure out how to make those angles, those crossovers perhaps, those circles. Maybe you're doing it this way and you have a ring that you have to draw in the right place. And this time, take your time, 5 to 10 minutes, and draw everything you see. And when you're finished, come back. Well, was that interesting? Now, here's the exposure. Open your page so that you can see page 1 and page 4. And look at the difference between those 2 things. Page 1 is probably a symbol. Page 4 might surprise you as to how detailed it is. You've maybe never looked at your hand quite so completely in your life. That is the difference between drawing a symbol and sketching what you see. The whole secret is in looking at it and really seeing it. Once you know that part, then you're ready to go and find books on sketching, videos on sketching, and you will then understand them. The problem that there is with those is that they usually skip this step. They assume that you are already looking at things. But if you haven't had that step, it's going to be very difficult. But now you can sketch anything you want. The difference between you and Leonardo da Vinci is practice. Carry on sketching.